What's up, creator? Paul Xavier here, and in this tutorial today, I'm going to give you a 30,000 foot overview of how YouTube advertising works. This paradigm for understanding how advertising on YouTube at a 30,000 foot overview is remarkably valuable for anyone, whether you have spent $0 or $1 million or multiple millions on the YouTube platform. It is going to help you make better decisions as a marketer. So, first off, Google does own YouTube, so technically when I talk about advertising on YouTube, we are really talking about how advertising across any platform Google owns and the foundational way that it works. Now, I want you to start out by visualizing each of these platforms, Google, YouTube, Google Search, Google Display Network, all of these different things that Google owns as three different things. The first thing is a network, the second thing is a database, and the third thing is a machine algorithm. When we visualize the network, what we are talking about is the billions of people who are searching for things on Google. It's the people who are watching videos on YouTube, and it's all of the people who are interacting, visiting, buying things on all of the websites that have Google Analytics pixel tracking set up on them. All of these are people searching for things, consuming content, publishing content, and buying products or interacting with websites that Google can see because it's all happening on their foundational network. Google has over 4 billion users that use Google Search. YouTube has 2 billion users. Google Analytics is estimated to be on anywhere from 8 to 10% of all websites that exist on the internet, which makes up by far the largest network of human beings interacting on the web in the world. Now, beneath this network, what I also want you to visualize is a database. So we have the network, all this stuff is happening, then this database down below it. What we're thinking about here with a database is all the information, aka data, that Google stores on each individual user while they are interacting in the network. Now, Google doesn't actually tell us how much data they actually keep on individual users, but third-party sources believe it can be in the tens of thousands of data points per user. So think of each data point as a characteristic of you, like how much time you spend watching a certain category of content on YouTube. Like, do you like comedy? Do you like politics? Whether you engage more with content on animals or content on people, or what you search for on Google on a frequent basis, or what you just searched for yesterday, the last time you used Google or used YouTube. What are the websites that you visit most often? And what website categories are those in? What are the products you buy on those websites? What are the products that you buy one time? What are the products that you buy frequently? What category are those products in? Who are you connected to via Gmail? And what are those people that you're connected to like, and what are their behaviors, and what are they interacting with? Because most likely, Google's gonna assume you probably like similar things because you are connected with them. All of that and so on, as you can see, are data points that Google has the ability to track on its users because all of the interactions and everything that's happening on those networks is being done by users and being saved into the database. Most people would struggle to name just 200 characteristics about themselves off the top of their head. But when it comes to a database, it's very, very easy to make thousands of small categories of information on a single user and track the smallest detail of what they like, what they dislike, and ultimately what content is most likely to cause that user to take a different action, such as a click, a watch, or even a purchase of a specific type of product. And so, that's the database. It stores all of those data points on each individual user. Now, the third thing we want to visualize is the machine algorithm. Here, what we are thinking about is the algorithm or artificial intelligence that processes all that is happening on the network, saving it into the database, and also populating what the people on the network see. So, when I say algorithm or artificial intelligence, a lot of people's eyes tend to roll into the back of their heads, right? And it's just something that is kind of foreign to most people. So let's simplify what an algorithm truly is. The simplest form of an algorithm is a calculator. You input the data like 1 plus 2, and in a fraction of a second, it tells you the answer is 3. The reason the calculator tells us that the answer is 3 is because it simply processed a mathematical formula we, as the creators of that algorithm, gave to it, and it generated the answer of 3. Unlike human beings, where we can quickly tell you what 1 plus 1 is because we've memorized it, algorithms can actually process longer mathematical equations in a fraction of a second, accurately, such as 182 squared divided by 7 multiplied by 44. So, whenever you think of an algorithm, what you really want to think about is a procedure or formula for solving a specific problem. Now, when we think about Google's machine algorithm, really what we're talking about is most likely thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of small to large algorithms working together in unison, processing everything that is happening on the network within the database, and it's happening all instantaneously. Google has algorithms that are processing the user's behaviors and saving that into the database. There are algorithms processing what types of content you as the user like the most, so it can decide what content to put in front of you next on YouTube. That right there is called the YouTube algorithm. There is another algorithm that YouTube uses for ads to determine which ad you are shown next when watching a specific YouTube video. There is a Google search algorithm that determines what websites pop up in what priority list or what order every single time that you search for something. As you can imagine, Google has a lot of algorithms, all with different jobs and responsibilities. Each algorithm is a different set of formulas and procedures designed to do a very specific thing with a high probability of giving you as the user on their platform the best experience possible, because that is their number one priority. So for the sake of simplicity though, we'll call the combination of all these algorithms the Google machine algorithm. This Google machine algorithm takes all that is happening in the network of billions of people, organizes it, ranks it, and saves that data into the database. Simultaneously, that machine algorithm is deciding and populating what content goes on Google in what order when someone searches for something, what YouTube video is going to pop up in the column to the right, what YouTube ad is going to play in front of that video when you load it, and so on and so forth. And over the past few decades, the Google machine algorithm has become one of, if not the most powerful predictors of human behavior on planet Earth. The algorithm can instantaneously search through the database of billions of users to find people with similar data behavior patterns, like likes, their dislikes, the type of content that they like, previous purchases of products, the frequency of when that happened, the recency of when that purchase happened, the news articles or the content that you just watched and interacted with and how you interacted with, all the way down to the second of how much time you spent consuming that content or interacting with it. The machine algorithm is taking all the data and saving it into the database while simultaneously processing all of that data to decide what to show people next. With all that data within that big, beautiful database, the machine algorithm is in a very powerful position because instantaneously it will select what to show you as the user or any user out there on its platform next, cycling through billions of different types of content, knowing with a high degree of certainty what content will produce a click or even a purchase for a specific type of product in a specific category. And that, my friend, is where the true power of YouTube advertising comes from. We as the advertisers on YouTube get to interact with this machine algorithm and put it to work for us. We can actually tell it, go find us a specific group of people who will buy our specific product, call our individual business, and engage with our content in this specific way. We as the advertisers get to load up the machine algorithm with our own data points, such as what action we want users to take, what group of people we want to show our ads to, and have it go into that group of people and find the people within that group who are most likely to take that action, and actually tell it how quickly we want them to take that action. So as you can imagine, when you set that type of machine algorithm technology up properly, and you actually create great ads and great products, this is a match made in heaven. The machine algorithm is going to go to work instantly processing the billions of data points on its users. It selects the group of people most likely to take our desired action and shows them your ads knowing it has the highest likelihood of success. That is, at the simplest form, a high-level understanding, 30,000-foot overview of how YouTube advertising works. It's also an important distinction to make that for the Google and YouTube platforms, the product they are selling is actually advertising to its massive networks of users. They don't charge users a fee for their services to use their platforms, but instead, the users who are spending time on all of their platforms are actually the product for the advertisers to buy. Meaning, Google literally built the ultimate tool for us as advertisers. Google has the network, has the database, and the machine algorithms that know what content is most likely to elicit a specific response from the end user. And we, as the advertisers, have the great products, the great services, and the ability to create ads on behalf of those products and services, and then take advantage of Google's remarkably powerful tools. This is the most powerful relationship between man and machine ever developed, and anyone can learn how to take advantage of it. So with that being said, now that you understand the three things that fit within the Google platform, the network, we have the database, and we have the machine algorithm going back and forth between the two and interacting with them that we get to interact with. Now, the next thing that's extremely important to understand is what YouTube wants and how that relates to what we want, because YouTube, aka Google, has three main priorities. If we understand them, then it allows us to win as advertisers. So YouTube's three priorities follow in this order. Number one, ensuring YouTube users have a good experience and keep using the YouTube platform. Number two, to make money. And number three, to ensure that YouTube advertisers have success with their advertisements. Now, this is extremely important to understand because if you create ads, sales funnels, and products that give users a negative experience, your account will get shut down like as fast as lightning, extremely quick. You'll be banned and you will never be able to advertise on YouTube again. On the other hand, we can succeed by simply creating ads, sales funnels, and products that provide an incredible user experience. As we will go more in detail later on in the YouTube training, the YouTube algorithm favors advertisers and actually rewards them with cheaper costs for advertising when they have great engaging ads, when they have great products or services, and end up giving the user a great experience, because that means that that advertiser is being successful, YouTube is making money, and the end user is getting what they want, which is ultimately what YouTube wants in its hierarchical order. So that's it for this module on a 30,000-foot overview of how YouTube advertising works. Thanks for watching, and let's get to work.